Hi all, and welcome to another Captain Obvious Discuss video here on YouTube. I'm going to be going over the most anticipated games and content releases for the months to come, up to the end of the year, and a little beyond. I've taken the liberty to pick my 8 favorites and put them in order of least excited, I guess you could say, though I'm excited for all of these, but all the way to most excited. I will be playing all of these. I can't wait. But of course, before we get started, if you like the video, if you like the content we're always bringing you, definitely subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. Hit that like button, comment if you think there's a game that I left out, and of course you can find us on twitch.tv/CaptainObviousGaming. Find us on Twitter and Facebook, TikTok as well, or join our Discord. But without further ado, now that we got all the administrative stuff out of the way, let's jump right in. My first game on this list is Outriders World Slayer, coming June 30th. Now, Outriders, of course, arrived with a buggy mess and hiccups across the board. Since then, those have been addressed, but we're still left with a little bit of a stale endgame and stale gameplay. So what can they do to bring us back? What can they do to get us excited? World Slayer looks to do that. With World Slayer, we're getting a new campaign that's taking us to the frozen glaciers of Enoch. Also, new gear, lots of gear, and legendary gear sets. And they're introducing a new long-term progression system called Ascension that'll take your character to the peak of the mountain, but beyond into Endgame. And speaking of Endgame, we are getting a new Endgame activity. More details to come on that, I believe. But it's supposed to encompass everything the players have been requesting. And the whole new content of World Slayer is supposed to be completely wrapped around this endgame activity. So absolutely stay tuned for that. Next up, lucky number 7 for me, Diablo Immortal, coming June 2nd to both mobile and PC. Now, this is a game that we've already talked about in another YouTube video, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. I discussed what I'm excited for with Diablo Immortal and kind of highlighted the release date. Go give that a peek if you haven't yet. So I won't be digging too much further into it. But that being said, Blizzard is bringing their hell-slaying, dungeon-crawling game to mobile and to PC this June, a game that's been actually getting a lot of positive criticism from those who participated in the beta. And this is also a game that, when it was announced back in 2018, it was not received too well. But I think over the years we have grown to like this and look forward to it. And I, for one, will be downloading it day one and jumping right in. Next up at number 6, I have 2 Point Campus, arriving August 9th across all platforms. Now, if you've played 2 Point Hospital, the silly and hilarious hospital simulation game, then 2 Point Campus is going to be very familiar to you. This is a game where you get to take your students and have them attend ridiculous classes like night school. You get to watch their social interaction and watch them grow and develop. But also, they're giving you a whole new level of creative abilities with 2 Point Campus to allow you to make your university your own. I'm telling you what, this game has the potential to be a hit, just like 2 Point Hospital has been. And these developers know how to release regular updates, add content to the game, so stay tuned for this one. It's going to be a blast. Now for number 5. I, for one, did not see a new Pokemon game being announced this year. I mean, I don't know about you. Of course, there's always little Pokemon games, but I'm talking about a whole new adventure with a new generation, 9th generation of Pokemon coming with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, we don't have an official release date. It's slated for sometime in late 2022, so we know and we're hoping to get it this year. But Pokemon Scarlet and Violet look to take us into an open world and harness some of those features that we saw in Pokemon Legends Arceus, but also bring in the features that you would see in a standard Pokemon game. And together, we are getting a new, amazing and beautiful looking adventure that we're going to be able to dive into and discover all these new mechanics. And honestly, Nintendo couldn't have done it any better. This is going to be the new stepping stone for Pokemon games going forward, and I can't wait to see not just this entry, but entries to come beyond this. Number 4 is Breath of the Wild 2. Now, this is a game that we initially thought was going to be coming at the end of this year. We got an announcement that it was actually delayed till next year, but there's still no reason to not look forward to this release. The first Breath of the Wild was arguably the best game that came to Switch, and a generational game for years to come, as many dock it as the best game ever. It was a beautiful game with lots of adventure, lots of nooks and crannies to discover, and a lot to collect to complete this game 100%. It kept so many of us entertained for so long. It's hard to imagine what we're going to be getting with Breath of the Wild 2. Again, we don't even know if that's the title. There's been so little released other than that trailer that we got, but even that trailer can be deeply dissected as we try to hypothesize and predict what we're getting. But either way, this is going to be a huge release, and we don't even know if it's coming with a new console alongside it to support an even bigger and more robust game. But hey, time will tell. Let's keep our nose down and just look forward to a beautiful game that's inevitably coming early next year. Cracking the top 3 is Dragonflight for World of Warcraft, a new expansion that's going to be arriving at some point later this year, maybe next year. We don't have an official date, but based upon previous timelines and beta starting, we kind of can have a general idea. Now, I did do a video on this as well. We dove into the announcement of Dragonflight, some of the features that are coming, so you can definitely go check that out on our channel if you haven't already. But there's so much to get excited for in this new expansion. New class that's coming with a new race called the Drakthir. We've got the Dragon Isles opening up, so a beautiful new world to explore. Of course, a level cap increase and new professions, new talent system. There was so much that Blizzard's bringing us that we've wanted for so long. Certain things they've taken away that they're bringing back. I think that 10.0, when Dragonflight drops, is going to be a new era and a new chapter for World of Warcraft that they desperately needed. Coming in at number 2 is Hogwarts Legacy, arriving holiday of 2022 this year. We're aware that this is taking place many, many years before the events of Harry Potter, which we've seen and read, or Fantastic Beasts, which we've most recently watched in theaters. This is a 5th year student that you'll be playing in the 1800s, where you get to choose your own house, customize your character. You get to live the life of a student, exploring Hogwarts, attending classes, developing relationships with your classmates. But with all that, you also have to deal with the burden of having the ancient power and unknown ability that you can control and access. Of course, this makes you a target of many enemies or bad guys. So in turn, you have combat. A combat that looks crisp, fun, and even strategic at times. But don't forget, you're not just exploring the castle and Hogwarts itself. This world opens up to a massive environment with Hogsmeade and other dungeons and secrets to find. Hogwarts Legacy is going to be huge, and when it drops, expect many to put on that wizarding hat, grab their wand, and jump right in. Last, but certainly not least, is Starfield. We've got Starfield launching onto our consoles, our PC, November 11th. And my God, this is absolutely the most anticipated title for me. Bethesda's taken us to the world of Elder Scrolls with Skyrim and Oblivion. They've taken us to apocalyptic wastelands and Fallout. And now they take us to the new frontier, to space. And if there's one thing Bethesda knows how to do, it's create an open world RPG adventure game. They've knocked it out of the park so many times we cannot count anymore, and this game is going to be ambitious, but it's going to be their greatest entry yet. Now, we don't know a lot. The little trailer that we did get was not very detailed, kind of left a little bit of a mystery, but it was our first look. This year, June 12th, we are getting an Xbox and Bethesda showcase. Expect massive announcements, especially when this is a game that's arriving later this year. Maybe our first gameplay, a little bit more of the story. Things are going to unfold, and I cannot wait. We're definitely going to cover it all here on Captain Obvious Gaming. But with that being said, that is our number one game. It's going to be a hit, and I will be playing it day one for sure. And there you have it, our 8 most anticipated and excitement-worthy games releasing up until the end of this year and beyond. Now, some of these games, of course, are more finished. We've seen trailers that show the content that we're getting, while other games, there's more of a question mark in place. We're definitely excited, but we need more answers, and we need to see more so we can build that excitement. But either way, we're pumped. There's no reason to not be ready for these games, to not want to grab them immediately and play them. And as always, stick here with Captain Obvious Gaming. We're going to cover these games when they release. We're going to play these games when they release. And we're definitely going to give updates as we deem necessary. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, as I said earlier, if you think there's a game we missed or something worth us talking further in detail about, just comment below. Nonetheless, everybody take care. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the viewership. And enjoy gaming.